Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast on the internet that's also at risk of getting canceled by EA. I'm Will, and joining me today, Brandon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Jump Up Supercast. Oh, wait. Oh, shit. This isn't the game club. Hey.
Noah.
Do we start a Kickstarter so we can make our own podcast?
Ills.
It would be nice to get some money after all this.
Saf.
I'm just happy that I got the experience, really. It was fun.
And Muzamil.
I think I'd prefer a Patreon, you know? Get that monthly income kind of deal.
You know, Brandon, in a brief moment there, when you did like a little A at the end of your thing, and it made me think of Andrew Dice Clay. And that was good. I haven't thought of him in 20 years. But yeah, so this is the last podcast ever that we're going to do. It's not. I lied. That was another lie. You may notice the intros. Normally you're full of lies. But this week,
what?
Boys, how are you doing?
Trusted you.
I feel like I was lied to.
I feel betrayed,
personally.
Quite frankly.
You gotta stop lying, Will.
Wait,
We're starting on it's a weird note to start on, to be dishonest on mic, but it's fine.
Were you thinking of Andrew Dice Clay when you were like 4 years old or something? What's going on?
Listen, it was a formative experience, Andrew Dice Clay. He's unbelievable. So, I mean, we'll get, we'll get into it because we just referenced it in the intro. We'll get to the news because over the last 4 weeks, we haven't done a lot of news, so a lot of stuff is just stacked up that we can hit pretty fast. But this one, who's the man that I get paid every week to say his name?
Jason Schreier.
Jason Schreier he's on a tear right now. Had a big thing. So I was confused on this because EA has canceled so many Star Wars projects. I couldn't tell what has and hasn't been canceled yet.
Yeah.
So, do you remember Amy Hennig's Star Wars game?
Yeah.
Was that
Yes.
1313? Oh no.
No, that's a different one.
This
That
was
also got
after.
canceled.
That was LucasArts. That's a while
This was
ago.
after.
Was it
So Amy-
1313 converted to Battlefront 2, or am I mistaken?
No.
No, it's full
1313
on-
is
it's
long
full
dead.
on canon.
That's yeah. But
Well, kind of. So here's the thing. So Amy Hennig worked on Uncharted 1 through 3, got hired to work on a Star Wars game, was working on it with Visceral, who you may know as the people that made Dead Space 1 through 3. Amy Hennig left the project, and then about a year and a half ago, a couple weeks later, Visceral got shut down, and the game was canceled.
yeah.
But they said the game's not canceled, actually. We're moving it to EA Vancouver. And the reason why was they said, you're not making an open world game. And open world games are big right now. So we're going to cancel this project to make an open world Star Wars game that we now know is going to involve bounty hunters, which is where they were taking ideas from 1313. Now, the thing was, they looked at it, they looked at how long this game would take to come out because it's hard to make an open world game in the span of 2 years and said, this isn't going to come out fast enough. We're canceling this game and starting another game that we want out before 2020.
Okay.
That's not open world?
That apparently, we don't know. All we know is they want it done in less than 2 years.
At this point, they've cancelled twice as many games as they created for Star Wars.
Yes.
I mean, here's the thing. I think the most damning thing about this story to me is I felt nothing. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel like what the hell, EA. It was just like, oh yeah, another Star Wars game canceled. Yeah, that sounds about right. That makes sense.
Yeah, same. I mean, I like Star Wars, but I'm not that into it, so I'm just like, eh.
But for me, I really like Star Wars, and I wanted to see cool games come out of this. But it's like, man, I am not shocked at all that this happened. This whole deal with EA and Star Wars has been a mess for both sides, because EA has devoted so many studios to making Star Wars games and nothing has come of it. And for Star Wars, it's like right now Star Wars is thriving, right? It just came back to theaters.
Been thriving, but yeah.
Yeah, but it just came back to theaters and
True.
This year is going to be the year that they finished the new trilogy. Episode 9 is this year.
And all we've gotten from that is 2 poorly received Battlefront games. That's all.
One of which got them in legal trouble with the government.
Maybe Star Wars should look for a different company.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
EA should not have that license. Like, it just to get it out of EA's hands.
They dropped the ball too many times.
Looking at it, like, well, one, the thing I learned is that the guy who was like the head of this whole deal left EA a year in. And so basically everybody else is sort of like having to be like, well, okay, this just got dropped in our laps. What do we do? Sort of in a little bit. And also, I mean, there's like Disney is famously can be very hard to work with and like get everything approved, right?
Yeah.
So like, you know, I think that there's a world where some of the problems can probably come from Disney in terms of things taking slower than they thought.
I'm not even blaming EA solely, you know, but obviously though, like they have a big part to take the blame. Though, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Massive.
they are the primary factors here. They're
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like they've just been like very unfocused on where they want this game to go. I mean, that's what it seems like. They keep canceling games. They should really just give it back to BioWare, I think, and you know, have a go with like KOTOR 3 or something.
Yeah, but then the problem is
maybe even like set this KOTOR in like the present time, because that was kind of like the gist of The Last Jedi. Like everybody gets force powers now or whatever. So you know, you could have way more Jedi now or whatever the fuck.
But the problem is though, like BioWare already has their hands full with Anthem, right? And I think this is a sign of just how screwed up EA as a whole is, right? Like look at their output in the last few years. It's embarrassing. It's sports, it's the annual dice game, which has in the last few years flubbed every time, you know? And it's BioWare. That's all they have left. That is all they have left. They don't have any output. Sims is dead. You know, Dead Space is dead. Like they shut down Visceral. They shut down. You know, they shut down so many studios. So many IPs are dead. Yeah. You know, like
didn't they kill a whole bunch of studios?
Yeah. Like they don't have much left. You know,
they don't even push the properties that they do have. They like produce. They don't really do much to push them out or like put them out there. Like, they just kind of, like, find ways to, like, gain just try and get as much money as possible from the games themselves without putting in any effort into, like, marketing or, like, making those games, like, well-known. Like,
yeah, I mean, they killed Titanfall as a franchise because they put it out the week in between their own game, Battlefield, and Call of Duty. And it's like... Why would you do that?
I mean, Titanfall 2 was really, really good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, everyone says that game is fantastic, you know? But, like, it just got sandwiched in between Battlefield and COD. Why? You had direct control over that. You put it against your own game. What is wrong with you, EA? You know?
There's a lot of things wrong with them. And then this year, too, they get the backlash about Battlefield, and they're like, buy it or not. We don't care. And then nobody bought it.
That's right.
It's like, that's the worst PR move you could possibly make by saying, yeah, we don't care if you don't buy the game.
It's okay. My thing is, like, this year, supposedly, Respawn is coming out with the Star Wars game, right? Star Wars The Last Order.
Fallen Order.
We've not seen any footage of it. Do you believe it will come out this year? Because, I mean, maybe it has to tie in with the movie, but, like, I don't know, you know? Like,
I don't care.
With how screwed up the Star Wars projects have been, like, I don't know if I believe that Respawn will come out with a Star Wars game this year. And quite frankly, I'm also just worried about Respawn in general, you know? Because they're kind of one of the only ones left.
I mean, they're in a situation right now where, like, I like Star Wars. When I was especially a kid, I loved Star Wars. Like, we live in an era that, man, I should be so excited to play a Star Wars video game every year. And I feel nothing but nothing. You like Moose said, right? Like, and it's because it is directionless. Like, Il's touched on this, right? Like, literally, they cancel the projects, not even because necessarily anything was going wrong, just because, we want to go in this direction. Then they realize, we didn't think that it would take multiple years to make an open world game, so we're gonna stop. And like, I guess they're trying to get near next gen launch with 2020, but like, it's just so strange, all of it.
Yeah.
And you know what? You guys are saying that you didn't feel anything, but like, now that I'm thinking about it, like Amy Hennig on a Star Wars game, that would be fucking phenomenal.
No, that would have been cool. I felt something when her game got canceled, you know? I did, but like, that was kind of the last straw for me, where it was like they teased this Amy Hennig Star Wars for years and years and years, right? Then they cancel it because they're like, we don't want a linear action adventure game, which is like the whole reason you would hire Amy Hennig in the goddamn first place, you know? They shut down that entire studio, which Visceral was a pretty renowned studio, right? And then they take the assets of that game to make something completely new. Now they've canceled that game, but I don't care. I don't care anymore because, like, it's just, why would I?
I don't care either.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is on the human side of things, they didn't shut down EA Vancouver. I think the same team is going to be working on the next game. I imagine it's so frustrating to have your game canceled, but no one's out of work, so that's nice at least.
Nice,
But, like, do you think that they're excited at all to make this project? You know, do you think that there'll be any passion at all behind this new project?
Morale is probably low.
Yeah, you know? And like, they're going to have to rush this thing out for next gen. You know, it'll be out holiday 2020. It'll probably be bad. Let's be honest, you know? So, like,
it sucks.
So
what happened, man? They broke the streak too. There was like a record of like a Star Wars game coming out like every year since like the 80s.
There's this amazing Reddit image out there that it was like comparing the 6-year period of like Star Wars under EA to the 6-year period of Star Wars under LucasArts and collaboration companies. Like EA only produced 2 games in those 6 years. Guess how many games were in those 6 years? Guess how many games were produced under LucasArts?
15.
Close. 14.
Wow.
Very close.
14 games in 6 years, and fucking EA can only do 2. Like, what the fuck?
That's just 2 that, let me remind you, were poorly received in their own ways, you know? So it's just like...
They both
that's not to say that all those 14 of those games were like well received, but still.
No. But when it is 14, you can have a couple of flops in there, a couple of stinkers, and like not feel too bad,
Those 14
right?
games include KOTOR, Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, good
and there's
Classics.
the good ones in there too, right? That's the
good
thing.
shit.
But like, yeah. So I mean, you know, I guess there's not too much more to say on that besides just like. I was gonna say I guess we'll see, but we probably won't. Like, judging by the track record.
At this point, I'm just concerned about the entire state of EA because, like, I don't know what's gonna happen with BioWare. I don't know what's gonna happen with Respawn. After that, all they have left is Dice and sports. You know, so like
Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Probably it all comes full circle. Probably the best Star Wars game that's come out in the last 6 years was like Lego The Force Awakens.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't mind if EA dies. I'm sure something better will come.
Either.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of things that I like franchises that I have a lot lot of affection for, right?
Well,
like,
hopefully they can pick the part in better companies.
Give it to people who would actually want to use these IPs, and they do. They really do have.
They're never.
I was just like they really have a treasure trove of IPs, you know.
But the thing is, the sports make so much money every year that like they're just going to keep existing and having those IPs.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
realistically, yeah. Like
somebody else make a Madden game, please. Just an NFL game.
NFL
Somebody, please, God,
the NFL license.
Save us.
Let's just collectively stop buying football games.
I
Thanks,
did.
guys.
I have. I used to buy them every year for like a good solid like 7 or 8 years in a row. I haven't bought one in the last like.
You funded terrorism. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, this was in the early 2000s. Like I loved Madden, and like they
were good.
They were good.
Like yeah,
and I think it was like around like the one with Adrian Peterson where they fucked it all up and they called it Madden 25 because in fucking 6 years that's going to be another game.
Yes, I look forward to that. That's one thing I look forward to. But yeah, so I mean, State of EA, not great, but you know what? It does seem pretty neat. Some a recent update to the Switch to NES Online. The data miner is always looking into that stuff. There is some language descriptions for a bunch of SNES games popping.
Yes,
yay!
That's very good.
Very good. There was, I think. The ones that were gonna hit every region. There's a couple that are Japan exclusive, but there's 16 right now that seem to be everywhere. It's a lot of the ones you would think of. You know, you got yourself your Link to the Past, your Super Metroids, your Super Mario Worlds, your Mario Karts. Twinbee's in there, which I respect. Kirby's Dream Course. That with online play,
Yeah,
I'm in.
Baby. I'm in.
Contra 3 with I would just hopefully assume all these things would have online play like the NES
Contra
does.
3.
Contra 3, amazing. I love that game.
Yeah.
I mean, Super Nintendo is inevitable. I have such a hard time saying that word, but it's inevitable, you know. But hopefully this means it's coming a lot sooner than we think, because traditionally Nintendo's rollout of classic game selection is awful. You know,
Yeah.
so
Very slow.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, Super Nintendo's coming sooner than we think. Still not enough for me, to be honest. Like, I'm still not satisfied because, like, god damn it, like we had so many Virtual Console games, and
Yeah, I just want Virtual Console back. How is this a hard plan? Just make it happen.
I don't even mind that we don't have Virtual Console, to be honest. But like the slow drip feed of games really kills me every goddamn time, man. Like it's just like
Every time they do this shit with the new console, they do the same crap.
this like 3 games a month, and then this month we didn't even get 3. You know, it's like they're already slowing down. Like, are you kidding me, Nintendo?
Yeah, it's dumb.
But really quick, some good news. Demon's Crest and Mystical Ninja both in there. 2 games that are related to the Game Club, baby.
Yeah, shit.
yeah.
What is that?
So if you want to know about whether or not you should play Demon's Crest, check out that episode.
You should still play. It's free.
Definitely.
well, no. Listen to the episode to find out. God damn it.
Find out. The only weird thing, two weird things that are only in Japan right now, according to the language stuff, is Star Fox and Yoshi's Island. Get Yoshi's Island on there. What are you doing?
Why?
They'll be on there. I mean, those are the weird ones.
Star Fox 2 on there.
Those
Star
are the,
Fox 2 is also there.
They're the weird ones because they're the ones on the Super FX chip, you know. So we
Yes,
never saw
and
them on
therein lies
Virtual
the rub.
Console, but they were on the Super Nintendo Classic. So I'm pretty sure that they'll be here. But
They figured it out.
yeah,
In other news, cool little thing if you want to get a little taste before it comes out, Resident Evil 2 has a demo, but it's limited to 30 minutes. It's however far you get is how far you got.
those kind of
I
demos
was
stress
tempted to
me
play,
out.
but then I was like, the game's coming out in like fucking a week from now. So
yeah, it's pretty
what's-
soon.
I might as well just play the game. I could wait
Does
an
your
extra week. I don't
progress
have to play the
transfer
demo.
or no?
Nope. It's.
No.
I think it's like its own separate thing. It's just you play once, you timed, and that's it.
Yes.
If you die, that's it.
Those
Beat the
kind
game
of
in 30
demos.
minutes?
Well, actually, no. I think you just play for 30 minutes, regardless if you die or not.
Those kind of demos stress me out though, because like I'm
But
not good
also-
at games.
I mean, it's a smart move because it adds to the tension of the game.
If you have a PC, they figured out ways around it.
I saw
obviously.
that.
Very easy. It's shockingly easy to get around it. Because I saw people that were like making 15 PlayStation accounts to download and play on all the different ones. It's like you just get it on PC, dude. But yeah, I mean, I like this. I like that just in general, Capcom is into these demos now. They did it with Monster Hunter. They did it with Resident Evil 7. They're doing it right now with Devil May Cry 5 as well.
Yeah,
demos
are cool.
we discussed last year. They're I think that they're good. I think the beta for Monster Hunter World helped that a ton actually. So hopefully, you know, there's I think a lot of people that never play Resident Evil 2 that might pick up this game, and this is a good way to see if you're interested.
I mean, I feel bad for complaining about this free thing. I just, I kind of wish it was just like a normal demo. I don't know, but
I mean, technically,
Yeah,
you're
I mean-
still paying for it, really, because you've got the subscription. That's the only way you can access it. So.
What?
no, it's not a PS.
You mean like
Plus
PS
thing.
Plus?
Oh, sorry,
No, it's not a
It's not PS
shit,
Plus.
my bad.
I don't think so anyway.
I'm pretty sure because it's not online. You can
Yeah,
download demos and,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
stuff.
that's
You just don't need gold for that. But that's cool. Also, a weird one. I'm split on this one. So Kingdom Hearts 3 leaked like a month ago.
Mhm.
Shockingly, I've heard very little about stuff. But the secret little old epilogue for it exists, and that is going to be a on disc. It won't be on disc. Basically, it'll come a week after launch. Which
I thought it was
is
day after.
weird.
there's 3 different things.
No,
There's like
no,
a
it's like
secret
because-
movie and also the epilogue.
Right. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
the secret movie is a week. I should clarify. The epilogue is the day after.
Yeah.
And I both like and dislike this
Well,
because
they said straight up they're doing it to prevent spoilers, right?
that's 100% what's happening. Because the game did come a month early.
Yeah, people stole some copies off a truck, spoiling the
Yeah.
game, but they can't spoil the epilogue.
Or this,
And so, basically my question is, do you think this is weird because you need to have an internet to like a Wi-Fi thing to see this, or do you think, hey, that's the world, it doesn't matter. Like, the world's moved on, everyone has access to the internet with their consoles.
yeah, I was about to say, if you don't have internet in fucking 2008, 19,
Yeah,
I mean,
You're probably not
you're
getting
literally
playing a
living
video
under a
game?
rock.
You probably
Yeah.
don't even know Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out on January 29th. Then.
Yeah. some people were mad, so I was wondering. But
I
I
just
think
think,
I'm of
like,
the same opinion.
I would prefer this than the epilogue getting leaked by people who stole the game before launch.
Yes.
I like, it was pretty annoying with Smash Brothers, right? Smash Brothers, there was pirated copies up on the internet a month before launch, and like you couldn't avoid it. It was just fucking everywhere,
I don't know. I avoided it pretty well, guys.
Well, I mean, sure,
Same.
but like, regardless, though, I would prefer if it just that kind of stuff just not be out there. And so I'm fine with Square taking this action to make the decision. Hey, we're just gonna patch it in so no one can spoil it. I'm fine with that.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's weird to me. I don't know why I find it so weird, but I do.
I think
it's
the weirdest
wrong.
part, I guess, is like there's always the preservation question, right? Like in 20 years, will I be able to put in a disc of Kingdom Hearts 3 and access that content? I don't know. But
Yeah. I mean, and there's going to be tons of that just in general with every game that exists now, and it's hard. But story stuff feels different than like we changed the gameplay a little bit. I think for people.
though the game does
I feel
have a
like-
proper ending still.
Oh no, it does. It's
Yeah.
just literally the epilogue. The they said this won't be the last Kingdom Hearts game in interviews a ton before. So like that's not a surprise that they'll probably have some stinger for Sora finds a lightsaber and it's
Oh my god, please.
whatever.
Please stop.
Oh my god, I would have loved that.
You're giving them ideas.
I would actually start playing
But,
Kingdom Hearts the entire series if that happens. That's beautiful.
It would be wild.
Don't mind yourself.
And the keychain's Captain America's shield. But
Save
yeah,
your strength. Save your strength, Seth.
it's true. So there's that. Another weird one that's sort of an announcement of an announcement a little bit is the classic. I love Japanese companies when they do this. They say, come on this day, big news is coming. And then the news is more news is coming.
Oh, I hate that so
This is a
much.
Square classic. This is a Square classic. And now
Didn't
Banco
they
did
do
it.
that with fucking Final Fantasy a bunch of times?
Oh, yeah.
They do it with
For some
goddamn
reason,
everything.
too.
Don't get me started on the history of Square Enix and bullshit teases. Like.
Please be excited.
Bandai Namco did it this week for Dragon Ball as a series, saying, hey guys, new game coming on the World of Dragon Ball Z is going to be action RPG. Also, Dragon Ball Fighters, a Universe 11 fighter. But we'll talk about that later. And you're like, just say you're doing season 2,
Well,
man.
the funny thing is, on the stream, on the the Bandai Namco US stream, they didn't even do the Universe 11 tease. They were just like, the producer comes on and is like, oh, we have the finals next week or whatever, whenever. And we have some news to please, so please tune in. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, what does that mean? And then later on Twitter, they're like, yeah, a fighter from Universe 11 is coming to Dragon Ball Fighters. So they did
Which
expand upon it. But,
definitely gonna be Dipso.
Obviously.
That's who it
Obviously.
is, right?
but the original
it's
tease
gonna
didn't
be
even have that much.
Gonna
You
be
know,
top.
it was just like, hey, at least it's soon though. But it's still annoying. Don't like why? Why do they do this? Just tell me in the first place.
Clearly
to come
it's
in
ready.
On the 26th.
I mean, the reason why is because there's a World Tour Finals that's happening on the 26th, and it's going to be the end of that, so they're trying to get people
Yeah,
to watch.
yeah. So tell me just on Twitter. Pay attention to the World Tour Finals
Instead of making us show up to watch a video.
Yeah, but I mean, they did this because they wanted Fighters fans to show up for the other crap, because they did announce a card game for the Switch and PC,
Oh, yeah.
right? Super Dragon Ball.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, so they did announce something.
They did announce a game. So it's a late localization of a game that's already out in Japan. It's a card game. It's
Card game, yes.
It's like imagine all your Dragon Ball fan fictions coming true.
Yeah.
It gets
Like
wild.
Super Saiyan Nappa.
Dragon
and
Ball
shit.
Heroes is that all over. It's
Yeah.
it's the MMO and it's nonsense.
Yeah, and
It's
so
a
this
port
is-
of an arcade game.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
so
this
is
is
Goku
a,
finally coming to Smash?
yes.
This is look forward to January 26th. That's when Goku's getting announced.
But the
Jeez.
card game looks cool,
Yeah.
but like, it's just, man, these announcements of announcements are like so annoying.
Very funny.
I'm cautiously excited for the action RPG.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
we'll
what
see
what
about
it is.
that.
The thing is with Bandai Namco, they like with their anime games, like I don't trust them that much, you know, because they're very hit or miss, you know.
Yeah.
Because
I would say
never
series.
miss, huh?
no,
they're
but
going.
I'm talking about like the licensed anime games, like
Yeah.
you can get Dragon Ball Fighters, which is incredible, a dream project, whatever, right? Or you could get something that is, you know, they just found some developer on the street to make for $2, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, I think in general that they seem to be sort of going bigger than they have in the past, at least, right? One Piece World Seeker is coming out later in a couple months. That's a bigger budget game than One Piece has normally gotten. Normally, it's been, you know, and then
but do
Jump
we
Force,
know
as much
that?
as we
Like,
have
when
problems,
we see it, are we gonna see like, oh, actually, this is
Yes,
super
we've
low
seen it.
budget?
Yeah,
we've already seen it.
Yeah,
We've
they're
already
putting a
seen
lot
it.
of effort into
All
the
right,
game.
all right.
And then Jump Force have problems with the visuals of Jump Force, and maybe it's going to end up being a bad game, but they're going for it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're trying to position it
But
as
that's
a
what I'm
big
saying,
deal.
hit or miss. Like, I'm not saying they don't have hits; those are there
Guess
too.
they never miss, huh?
But they, you know, like I'm not too.
But I think there was a
hot
while
on-
where they were distinctly unambitious, and I admire the feeling that we might have some ambition with the new Dragon Ball game, rather than it just being, you know, Xenoverse 3, which is also probably still happening. But anyways,
You know what it is? Legacy of
What's
Goku 3.
Heyo,
Yeah, Legacy of
I'm
Goku.
in.
Oh, there was that's already a thing.
Legacy of Goku 4.
It's
Finally.
time. Yeah. So that's it. Speaking of epilogues and things, really fast. Just want to give a word to the wise. There are spoilers for Travis Strikes Again on the internet. Don't ruin the fun for yourself. There's some neat stuff that I wish I had seen in the video game, but that's coming out already. When you hear this, it's out. And you know what? I mean, that's a cool game. I'm just happy that it's happening, to be honest.
They did announce
it
a
reminds
new
me-
T-shirt collaboration, though.
These t-shirt collaborations are
But
the most non-things I've ever seen
but
in my
this one's
entire life.
Majora's Mask.
What?
You got my interest.
Yeah.
I was
On
just
Twitter,
being mean, and then I did that.
They announced. Yeah, I know, you're like, oh, they're so nothing. No, this just.
I mean, there's still t-shirts.
They're still nothing, but the final one that they announced is not because it's been all indie games like Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, a lot of cool stuff. Steamroll Dig, like there's a lot.
Nintendo's definitely publishing No More Heroes 3. I'm super confident in this.
Yeah. Nintendo gave
They listed them as a major
Majora's
partner.
Mask shirt. So
And also on the recent thing when they were talking to investors, they listed Grasshopper as a major third-party partner, which they did not do before. So.
well, no, Grasshopper listed Nintendo as a major partner. Is what it was.
Sorry, whatever.
Anyway.
Got it flipped. Still important. Come on. There's stuff. They got stuff behind the scenes. Just you wait.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's cool. Speaking of Nintendo, at investors meetings, or the type of stuff you get asked there, Furukawa, the new president, came in last year. We talked about him coming in on the podcast. Did an interview that we're not going to talk about. We're going to talk about the people responding to this interview. Because they asked, hey, if consoles crash, what's going to happen? And he said, Nintendo's going to reassess if the console market disappears. Which, like, duh. Like,
Such
of
a
course.
dumb question.
Such a dumb question. But everyone...
That's a non-question, really.
Yes.
This was such a
But everybody
non-issue.
took that out of proportion.
And I saw so much clickbait, you know, Eurogamer, but
Jesus.
saying all this garbage that Nintendo's thinking of leaving the console market, Switch might be the last console, and like this is not what he said at all. Like, and I don't even get people getting mad at him for saying this because obviously if someone asks you, hey, if your business is going to shit, are you just going to keep doing the same thing, or are you going to do something different? Yeah, you're going to tell them, I'm going to do something different. You know?
I mean, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
But
so
I
obvious.
think it's because, one, he's the new guy factor. So it was like, is Nintendo's new president going to kill your favorite consoles? And it's like, no.
He's gonna go down with this shit.
Iwata used to give the same answers, you know, because I mean, like, you
yeah,
have
and the
to
fucking
say
Wii U
that.
was in worse shape.
Like, you have to
Tom.
say that, hey, we keep our options open. That's literally what that answer is. We keep our options open, and that's the right answer.
Yeah, exactly. I read one article, realized how badly they paraphrased it in the clickbait headline, and then saw it for like the next 3 days straight, just all over the place, and like it pissed me off so much. I was like, I cannot handle this right now.
I actually
need to get off the internet.
I saw a podcast or something. I forgot what I was watching. It was on YouTube. And then in the comments, the person who did the interview basically commented, he was like, hey, I'm really annoyed about how everyone has taken my interview and completely turned it into something it's not. So like, I plan on having a statement on this because he straight up said like, hey, like I did a direct translation and you guys have taken meaning that I did not put in there, you know.
Yep.
And the guy who translated the interview is not happy either. He's
you know what's amazing?
Upset.
I was kind of I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of going on in the background. I had no idea that this was the actual statement. I just kept reading articles like, "Oh, this new president saying that they're going to think about going into third party or going into mobile development." It's like, okay, that's happening. And then I never looked into it, and this is my first time actually hearing what exactly the statement is. It's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very silly. And it's that thing. It's just like, shame on you. Shame on you if you did that. You know, like, it's not...
Shame on us, because we're going to use a clickbait title.
That should be the title of this podcast. Nintendo's going out of business. You know how many clicks we would get? Nintendo's going out of business.
We're doing it already. We got you, boy. Are you listening to this? I know you.
I apologize to anyone who I made fun of for clickbaiting. You made the right call.
We started with lies. We're continuing with the lies. Let's do this.
I respect it. We sit on a throne of them. So one other little thing that happened, well, not little, this is, I think, a relatively big deal. You may remember at the Game Awards, Mortal Kombat 11 got announced, right? Mm-hmm. It's coming on everything, which is pretty wild. They said, look out for the gameplay unveil in January. Guess what? It's January. We got the gameplay unveil.
Yeah. Rowdy Ronda.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey is Sonya Blade.
Nice.
What? Really?
Yes, It's very weird. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, also Scorpion dabs. That's another thing that he does now. That happened in the trailer.
2019 starting off great.
I'm never
really wild so
game.
far. So I mean, you know, not it's the stuff that you would think from Mortal Kombat. Still violent, right? They brought back Scarlet, who was a cool character. If you're at the DLC for Mortal Kombat 9, she's like a blood witch. So, like, she'll, like, punch you or, like, stab you, blood will come out, and then she'll use that blood to become, like, an even bigger knife, and then just stab you with your own blood. It's very violent, but it's Mortal Kombat, duh.
Her design is so much better now, though. Oh, man, she looks so good in this game.
Man, Mortal Kombat 9 girl designs are bad. None of them look good.
They were really
like, not like a sensibilities thing, just like a thing, look... With your human eye, I don't know people that can look at it and say, this looks nice. I don't think you can do it.
They really stepped their game up with 10. That was something.
Yeah. The art style is just, I mean, I like 9 a lot, but I think 10 did some neat stuff. They brought some of that forward. The styles from 10 are back, which is a really neat thing if you don't know what that is.
So you can swap from combat styles?
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they're like Scorpion, for example, has one that focuses more on him using the chain versus ones where he's using the knives. Like, there's just different characters will have different subsets within their basic moveset, which is cool. And it takes place in between like 9 and 10. So, you know, they haven't quite got to the like Mortal Kombat babies that is Mortal Kombat 11 story mode, where like all the characters now have kids that are like going on adventures, and there's old man Scorpion.
Fuck?
Yeah, it's a Mortal Kombat 11. It's like, hey, here's Johnny Cage's and Sonya Blade's kid, and she's the main character.
Let it end.
No, it's good though. That's the weird thing. Is Mortal Kombat story modes are legitimately good now.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat and story mode shouldn't go together.
Well,
no,
NetherRealm
got good at it.
Play 10 and then you realize that you're wrong.
Yeah, like from 9 onwards.
Yeah, they did
Injustice,
a really good job with those stories.
Yeah,
okay.
Injustice.
I'll take your word for it. How about that?
Yeah, I mean,
there's one thing that I don't like about the thing, and you touched upon it, like in the beginning. It's like I don't get why some developers would like to try and implement like pop culture in their video games, because games take a while to develop, and when they do, the fucking references they make, they just get lost in time. So
yeah, but that's fun, right? Because you can look back at it and I don't know, it's like The Simpsons.
And even right now, we can just laugh at it. You know, it's just.
I mean, Mortal Kombat's goofy. Like,
well, yeah. It's like it's not like Mortal Kombat's like this fucking.
Sorry, I'm thinking about Guacamelee, and like they had the move called, I can't remember what it was, like the Dirt or some shit like that, and it's like, God, that is so old. That's really
Okay, Guacamelee.
I mean, they had a
overboard
ton of
with the
memes in Guacamelee.
I'll give you that. But like,
Though-
memes, yeah.
Did you ever play Guacamelee 2? There is a wonderful
Not yet.
Not
secret
yet.
in that game. They are acutely aware of the meme criticism in the first game, and they do a very good bit with it.
oh, it's on Switch now. I should
it-
play it.
It is, but
When
yeah,
is it on Xbox?
I think it's isn't it? Oh, I don't know, Brandon. I'm sorry.
I'm looking it up right now.
All
so
right, live reporting. So yeah, so that, but Mortal Kombat, is coming in April, so very soon. And I think IGN's the one that did the broadcast, so it's probably on their YouTube channel. But nice
Rated
little
fast
presentation.
turnaround.
So there's that. Finally, just an important little update. Fallout
wait.
76. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Also coming in April is Dragon's Dogma, right?
You're right.
Oh.
That was another one.
Nintendo Switch.
That's one of those, man, that like, hey, this is a test. They're testing. If this does okay, they're gonna look at Dragon's Dogma.
Really, I don't see it as a test. I see it as a hey, Switch is successful, and let's just port our entire back anything that can run on
Capcom
Switch. Let's
is
do
constantly testing. They are constantly testing.
I mean,
everything that they put out.
Onimusha, that's a test game.
Onimusha is a test.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
That came out
that's a
this
test
week, by the
game.
way.
If that remaster does not sell, they are not making another Onimusha. But
So,
beep 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 beep. Breaking news. Apparently, it's coming out tomorrow on the Xbox One.
oh,
Heyo,
so
look at
actually
that.
it'll already be out.
when you
by
hear
the
this, it will
time-
be out.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's incredible. So how about that? Look at that. Hard-hitting investigative journalism. Suck it, Schreier. So there we go. And most importantly, in the just Fallout 76 is still a mess. Watch. Every week I see a different. It's a different thing every week with Fallout 76. I just want to sum up a couple of the things that have happened so far in the year of our Lord 2019. The developers forgot to update the codes to make the nukes that you can launch in the game, one of the selling features, work past the year 2018. So for the first 10 days of 2019, you could not launch them.
Wow.
Players have discovered how to access the dev room where they find the one NPC in the entire game. Clearly, they were intending for them to be in it and ended up not putting them in the game. However, the beautiful little twist is that they post about it on Twitter and they report it to Bethesda. Bethesda is now threatening that if you do not tell us how you got here, we're going to ban your account so you can't play the game anymore.
Can
Wow.
this game ever not have problems? Like, can it ever not have any problems whatsoever?
Yeah, when they
Bethesda.
decide to shut it down. When they shut down the servers.
Yeah. When they shut down the servers, which may be sooner than you think, because they've discovered a million ways to dupe items in the game,
Cool.
allowing people to also get past the weight limits. So our characters will be holding millions of items at a time, creating so many things for the server to keep track of that it will just crash the game for all players on the server.
That's great. That's absolutely great.
I feel like if you take 10 steps in any direction, you're gonna break the game.
Yes. So the servers are dying faster than you would think, Muzamil. The players are trying to make it happen.
All right.
Bless. So yeah, I mean, it's in some ways I feel bad dunking on Fallout 76, but then I don't because they sold it for $60. So we're gonna keep doing it.
Amazing fucking.
Man, I had hype for that game too.
Yeah,
God
it's a
damn
bummer.
it.
This is like.
West Virginia.
They'll come back strong with Starfield, maybe. We'll see.
You think?
Starfield, he eats the space lasagna. Yeah, so there we go. That's the news for this week. We hit a lot of topics. A little faster pace there. Hope you enjoyed it. But this week, of course, we have another important thing to get to. That being the list.
The list.
Last week. Oh, thank you. I always forget to wait for your.
Check the
Intro
paste bin to
enthusiasm.
follow along.
Hey, yeah, that's it. The list that is not a top 100. Last week I brought new Super Mario Brothers 2. It ended up number 56, above Mortal Kombat 1, but below Mario Tennis Aces. This week, Ills, is your turn to add to the list.
Oh, well, thanks. Since we were talking about Amy Hennig before, I thought I'd go back to a game that we played in the old game club.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain, Soul
Oh.
Reaver.
She was also the director and one of the writers of that game, so it all fits.
I like that. that's one that people won't remember she worked on, but we're gonna talk about it. What is the Legacy of Kane Soul Reaver Ills?
It's an action
Gotta
adventure.
be Kane.
What? It's an action adventure, like a gothic art style, thematically. Action adventure with very good writing, good nice puzzles, some decent combat. I don't know. We all played it together. You guys remember it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's a PS.
I remember getting lost a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS1 also Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's a
a-
PS1 Dreamcast.
It was a Crystal Dynamics, so that's
Yeah.
that's a weird legacy to all that stuff.
And one of the sequel to one of my favorite games. This is like one of my favorite franchises, Legacy of Kain. The sequel to Blood Omen, which was really really cool, where you play as the antagonist of this game, and also later. I mean, I like the whole series, but later on the series gets really cool with Legacy of Kain Defiance and blah blah blah. But yeah, the game is really cool. So yeah, where should I put it? Let's see. I'd say right below or above Alundra.
Okay.
That's at
So that
number
would be-
53.
I was looking at that general area. I
Okay.
don't think I want to put it above Alundra, though.
What do you think, Brandon?
I don't think I would put it above Alundra either.
Okay.
It's a cool game though. I like this game a lot. It does have its issues with like not really telling you what the hell to do.
Or where to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a
could
lot of, like,
really
early
benefit
three-
from a map,
yeah.
but
It's
it did have some cool things, like with the combat itself was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You get more power ups as you play the game, and it gets really cool.
I would
I
say
really,
that
really like-
if anything, it has a lot of just like early 3D game problems in general, right? Sort of
Yeah.
with
Definitely.
designing the space to like have it all without having the map and stuff like that, like you said.
But I think like the strongest point is the storytelling. Like the voice
Yeah.
acting
yeah, that's
is
the best part about it. Like the
phenomenal, of course. And like you just want to get to the next, cutscene to see what happens because they're so good.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
Did
really
Charles
cool.
Martin, they have a role in Legacy of Kain.
I have no idea.
Don't
I
know.
think.
You know what he did have a role in? That's not a Mario game.
Skyrim.
No,
Yeah,
But yeah,
Skyrim
he
goes
did.
into it.
but Shadow of Memories,
Woohoo!
the Game Club game.
Wait, what? He did?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about it on the
I
episode.
don't remember that. What the fuck?
It was just me and you.
It was just an
Wow.
intimate conversation.
He was
but,
just ignoring you that whole time.
wow.
Feel so betrayed. Talk
But
to myself for 40 minutes.
okay. So of the people that play, I assume Moose hasn't played it.
You'd be
But
correct.
so we have two that will put it below Alundra.
Like right below Alundra? Is that what you guys thinking?
I don't know. I really like the story
I
of
was
that
looking
game.
at below Mario Tennis Aces.
Above or
Maybe? I
below
don't
Mario
know.
Tennis Aces?
Or below.
Okay.
Is that I think it's better than Zack and Wiki. That's why. Like I legitimately think it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Nature of the Beast.
I don't want to put
Nature
it
of the
above
Beast.
Alundra. I really like the story of that game.
Brandon.
And the combat was fine. It was pretty cool, and I did enjoy the fact that there was some level of versatility to it. Like they tried to make it different, and the only issue, and the art style. Sorry, the art style was actually pretty cool. Like I like the kind of fantasy elements, the horror fantasy elements. Or sorry, gothic fantasy.
Yeah,
elements.
and like the shifting between the material realm and the
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain
was
has
Yeah.
a
spectral
tone.
realm. My
But
bad.
it was so confusing. And,
Yeah, no,
like,
that's the issue. Like,
you didn't even know you were in the material or going between the worlds or what door leads to where or how
Yeah,
teleporting everything.
that's what
It's
that
just so confusing.
yeah, that's what that was.
I mean, but
Yeah, I could give it to him, because even after a fight, if you were to engage in it, you have no idea where it is. There's no distinguishing landmarks or anything like that. It's like, wait, was I supposed to go left or was I supposed to go right? It's one of those situations.
Yeah, and yeah.
So
well, I mean, there's definitely issues with navigating through the world, but I feel like the game ultimately rewards you well enough to make you want to play through it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like the carrot at the end of the stick, it's good enough. It's really really cool. admittedly, the ending of the game is a cliffhanger, so that part's a little off. But it continues on later in the story. With the other games, and it picks up really, really well. Like the last game in the series that ever came out was Defiance, and that ends like perfectly. I know that's not part of this game, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I do want to put it.
It's part of a larger narrative. I get that.
I kind of want to put it above Elantra.
I have played it. I would put it below Elandra, I think.
I'll settle for right below Elandra.
Yeah, I think above Zack and Wiki, though, I'm cool with. Because I do like a lot of the stuff in Legacy of Kain.
Well, we know how Saf feels about Zack and Wiki, so I don't think we have to ask him about that one.
Saf knows that this game is for big boys, unlike Zack and Wiki. Okay.
It's edgy enough for him.
So where are you at, Brandon?
Below Elandra.
Below Elandra, above
But what
Zack
about
and
Zack and Wiki? How do you feel about it against Zack and Wiki?
I prefer Zack and Wiki, but in this case.
Well, before you settle, I want to get.
Before I settle,
I
underneath Mario Tennis Aces.
Okay, because I want to get a tally. So we have 2.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tallyman.
I have nothing else to contribute here, so.
Well, I think we have 3.
So
we have 3
it's
for below
3-2,
Elandra, right?
It's 3-2.
Yeah.
I assume Saf will. You said above Zack and Wiki, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's 3-2.
Zack and Wiki, yeah.
I want to put it below Zack and Wiki.
Oh,
what?
What?
That was a lie! People of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
This is the lying podcast.
Podcast of lies. There you go.
I hate this episode now. I hate it now. I'm excited. My heart was warm for like a minute.
You believed, and then it was all led astray.
Good job, Saf.
Okay, well there we go. So by 3-2, that is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver at number 54 on the list. So surrounding it, 52, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, 53, Elandra, 54, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, 55, Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure, and 56, Mario Tennis Aces. Hey, 3 out of 5 of those games were Game Club games that you can listen to on our feed to have prolonged conversations about.
And maybe not forget about them like I did.
Refresh your memory.
Listen to the Zach.
Moving on,
and
because
Wiki
you do not
episode.
have the chance to offer much opinions there, I think you can have the final phrase.
Woo!
I may regret that. While you think on it.
Plugs.
Plugs. All right. Twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. I'm going to put first because I saw a little screenshot from Brandon of his prep for during his Xenoblade streams. And oh, baby, I'm excited for that. So I want to mention that first. Follow us
Glad you're
on there
excited.
to see when we go live because you'll get a little email about it. Everyone still uses that, I think. Also,
It'll happen soon.
yes, soon.png. And then also another place that we will tweet more than likely about when we are going live on Twitch is twitter.com/jumpupsupercast, where you can get updates on when we go live on Twitch and also whenever episodes go live, such as the Game Club with One Finger Death Punch. So that's also should be. It'll be before this one?
It's up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's already up.
It's up now.
It's up right now. It'll be directly above this in your feed, I think. And then besides that, we have Instagram.com/JumpUpSupercast. And of course, we have the podcast applications that you're using to listen to said podcast. Did you know that there's a 5-star feature where you can only rate things 5 stars? But when you do, don't try to rate us anything else than 5 stars. It simply won't work because that's just the way it is. So if you like us on there, if you like hearing us in general, give us 5 stars because it makes us feel good inside. But now I want to feel bad inside. So Muzumil, your final phrase.
I want to have a heart-to-heart with EA. All right, EA, I have a message. All right, I don't think you're a bad. Well, I do think you're a bad guy, but you don't have to be this way. You know, Anthem is coming out. I'm willing to give you a chance. This game might be good, but for the love of God, ditch Star Wars and focus on your own IP because you have so many great things. You know, you don't need Star Wars. You got Dead Space, you got The Sims, you got, you know, Mass Effect. You know, who cares about Star Wars? Like, it's not working out for you. It's not working out for Star Wars. Just ditch them. Focus on your own thing. I believe in you. You know, make BioWare good. Make your own studios good. And, you know, and maybe we won't have to talk about you like you are this supervillain, you know. And also, CEO, you need a makeover because you truly look like a supervillain. So I'm sorry, but yeah, bye.